Welcome back to Now Playing, the #1 James Bond podcast on the internet. I'm your host, Richard.
And I'm Cody.
And welcome back to another episode. We are on Live and Let Die.
Yes, we are.
This is the...
Back to form.
What number is this? This is number 7? No, 8?
Hold on. How many Connery have? 5?
He has 6. So this is 8.
Then.
This is the 8th Bond movie. This was released in 1973. A long time ago. Long time ago.
In a Earth that was not that far away.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this is the first one with Roger Moore.
I like him.
Yeah, I like him too. I think he fits the Bond role a lot better. I don't personally.
Yeah, so with this, really makes me appreciate the Pierce Brosnan ones, because to me, Pierce Brosnan just looks like Roger Moore after watching this movie.
Okay.
And I was like, ooh, okay, I see you. I see you. So, yeah.
According to some trivia I found, back when they were casting for Dr. No, Ian Fleming wanted Roger Moore, but Roger Moore was doing a little TV show called The Saint.
Don't know what that is.
The Saint had a movie come out with Val Kilmer in the 90s, and then they recently... He's like a spy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But so he was doing that, so they couldn't use him. And then they almost didn't get him for this movie because he was doing another TV show, but it flopped, so they got him.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah. According to statistics, Sean Connery turned down a $5.5 million deal to not be in this, basically.
Damn.
He was just
Connery
like, I don't
really
want,
out.
Yeah, he was like, no matter what you pay me, I'm never doing this again.
You could pay me a lot to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Even if I hated it, I'd be like, 5.5 million is a lot of money.
Especially in the 70s.
Especially knowing that people are going to go see it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Bond has never been one of those movies in theaters that's like not done money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like your name is going to be up there. And even if you were doing extra stuff on the side, like, well, these are the projects I want to work on. At least every 2 years you would know, well, I'm getting another $5.5 million this year, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly. But the basic plot of this movie is that some agents are being killed, and by a head of state that is not a real country. So it's a country called San Monique.
Yep.
It's the first time they've used a fake country, and it'll be the first time until license to kill.
Really?
Yeah, and then they'll use another fake country because they can't use like Colombia and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
But yeah, so basic premises is that Dr. Kananga wants to flood the world with heroin so that the price drops, and then he corners the market.
Yeah.
Just drug trade.
And
pretty simple plot, honestly.
It's a simple plot, but it's a great setting.
It's more realistic than a laser in space.
And this is like, to me, this is one, like, this is back to formation for me. But this is also, I grew up watching like a lot of like martial arts movies and blaxploitation movies and stuff like that, just because like those were movies that my dad watched a lot.
Yeah. And
so I was just kind of like, oh, like this, like, I was like, I like the vibe of this. And you were like, yeah, they made this movie because of like the influx of like blaxploitation movies.
Yeah, because like Shaft came out in 1971 when Diamonds Are Forever came out.
Yeah.
They saw how popular it was, and so they wanted to jump on and make at least a movie with those themes.
Yeah, with that
and
kind of culture and everything.
Yeah, and like focus on it a little bit.
Which heck, I didn't know. So I guess just because like for those of you that are just now tuning in by some chance for this, like, once again, this is my journey going through, because I've only seen what I believe is most of the Pierce Brosnan movies, and I've seen all but one of the Daniel Craig movies. And so for me, it's like these are all new experiences. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of stuff with my mom watching them growing up, but like I didn't know this one existed. Like, I always thought just like I didn't even know that Live or Let Die was solely a Paul McCartney song, I thought it was a Beatles song. So it was one of those, and then you were like, it's the theme song for the movie. He wrote it for the movie, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Which I have some trivia for that.
Ooh.
According to Paul McCartney, after the director Guy Hamilton heard the title song, he said, "Yeah, that's a good for a demo. When are you gonna do the real record?" Apparently the director didn't like how it sounded. He liked the woman's version. That's in the when they're like sitting in the bar.
That's a really good version of that song. But yeah, so this one just merged to me. Like I loved like the Pierce Brosnan movies and Craig movies, and so like I liked Bond at least. I just didn't know how many there were and all that good stuff. Like I knew there was a lot because like of you and a few friends, and but yeah, and so like for me it was like merging a lot of stuff that I loved in one movie, and so because like I said, I grew up with watching all those kind of movies and stuff, and so I was like, dude, I dig this. Like from the second it started out with the setting, and then you being like, oh yeah, they made it because of this. I was like, oh, then I'm in. Like I'm so in. Just like that was like my childhood was watching like martial arts movies and kaiju movies and like blaxploitation / Dolomite movies, like whichever one you prefer to call them style and everything like that. Like I guess those are two completely different genres though. When you, I guess.
Oh yeah, no,
but
definitely.
Like their Dolomite movies, I guess, are one and the same as the other, but the other's not the same as it. So and so it was a fun watch. Like, and we just kind of watched it on a whim. We didn't watch it on our regular, like what we would call our viewing day, I should say, for James Bond. We were just like, hey, let's watch the next Bond movie, and like just rolled with it, and it was like, ooh, like I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. So
no, I really like this one. For a debut, for a new Bond is very good.
And I thought Kananga and his whole crew were fan-fucking-tastic. Like for it to not be Spectre and it to not be all this stuff, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. And then also there's a part of me in my head now that just thought about this when you were talking about like agents were being killed off. In my head I was like, because of the diamonds. And I was like, wait, that was the last movie.
Yeah. That was the last movie.
But yeah, and so like I just Kananga was like a dope villain of like he just didn't give a shit about Bond like at all. Like when he was first there, he was just like, yeah, we'll take care of you. Bye. Yeah. And like left, and it's just like, oh, like all the rest of the villains like throughout the series so far have been like wanting Bond to know their like ideas, wanting Bond to know this and that. Like Kananga was just like, man, fucking kill this dude and get him out of here.
Well, that was Mr. Big, who's not Kananga.
Yeah, not.
But
Kananga.
It is Kananga.
And
I do like that aspect where it's like, what is this diplomat and a Harlem gangster have in common? It's because they're the same person. And I love the reveal when he just like takes the makeup off. He like pulls his nose off.
Pulls it all off.
I was just like,
oh, it was so dope.
Like looking at it now, you can kind of tell that it's makeup, but it's still passable enough to where it's the illusion's still there.
Yeah.
So.
And I forget what's his right hand's name to do with the claw.
Oh, Teehee.
Teehee.
Because he's always smiling, man.
Yeah. And it was hilarious too because I didn't know his name. I was like, bro, this dude's just happy to have a job. I'm like, he's just like, hey, here we go. And you were like, that's why his name is Teehee. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Are you serious? But yeah, no, it was super awesome.
All the characters in this I like a lot. And the fact that, so in the books, this is the second book. So this is the first one that has Quirrell in it. They had to do a little different for the movie.
Yeah, Quirrell
because
Jr.
Quirrell died in Dr. No. So they got Quirrell Jr. There's this, maybe his son.
I thought Quirrell Jr. was like a really good sidekick throughout the entire movie. Like he was super awesome. It felt like a very like Batman Robin-esque dynamic, and I was like, okay, like I like it. This is really awesome. And then plus I love the dude that played like Death.
Oh, Baron Sumdy?
Yeah, like bruh. Dude was dope. The makeup looked fantastic. Like it just looked straight. A lot of voodoo in the movie. Yep. Like a lot of voodoo beliefs and stuff like that. And it was really awesome.
It's the only James Bond movie that has supernatural themes to it, and so they deep dive into the supernatural stuff with like Solitaire being a fortune teller, and then like Baron Sumdy being the voodoo priest.
It was, dude.
And
it was
apparently, I saw this online when he's on the train at the end. That was them teasing that he was supposed to be in more movies, but it just never happened.
Okay. Well, I like that. I didn't see it. Like, of course, that's how they meant it. Like
Yeah.
to me as a viewer, I just thought it was like a good thing of like death will always follow James Bond.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
And it still
okay.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was
sure.
like, that's a nice little like nod. So now I know that he was supposed to be in more movies. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
But,
that
like,
sucks
looking
because he would
back,
have been dope. But
now you can say that now. It's like
death follows him.
following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey Bond, where you going? Well, wherever you go, death's gonna follow you.
Yeah.
So. It just so good. Like
Mhm.
I thought Solitaire was really good.
Yeah. No, James
Like
Seymour is
the
a
pure
fantastic
belief
actress.
of like that if she loses her virginity, she can't like use her powers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the second that she does, like nothing is going right for Kananga, and so
Yep.
it's just like, oh shit.
And then him like testing her with like the watch, and she fails, but he still lets Bond go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's very very suspenseful scene.
God, it was so good though.
Like it's very good.
Like that, and then there's of course the scene where he goes outside and like you can tell I love it how because it's like 70s Harlem,
Mm-hmm.
and so like everybody that sees him is just like looking like
Yeah. What is this guy doing here?
yeah, it's like what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And like they were like, he was like, well, how did you know I was here with the CIA guy? And he
Mhm.
was like, really? You're like the only white man in Harlem.
You stick out.
You were not
very
hard to find.
badly.
And I was like, hilarious. Like, I thought that was great with like the black CIA agent just being like, bro, really? I found you like the second you crossed the bridge. What are you talking about? Felix told me you were probably doing something stupid, and guess what? You were easy to find. And so, like, they stuck to that like Harlem culture with it and like that voodoo culture throughout the whole movie. And I was like, they're not really like stopping. Like they're rolling with it, and they weren't really doing it in like for Bond. What I've gathered so far is they took a lot of things and were like, we're gonna take it to the extreme, and like really crossing that line sometimes to where you're like, ooh, oh boy, and like stuff. But like in this movie, I didn't feel like they did. I felt like they did a really good job of like capturing that culture and being like,
especially at that
here's
time.
this. Yeah. And so it was really believable, and it was really great, and I like the fact that it was the like that jazz bar joint feel, and that's how they were doing it. Those were their hideouts everywhere. Yeah. So anytime they needed a new place,
went to New Orleans, and it was more like in the southern United States, and like they still so. The last Diamonds Are Forever, they tried to make it more in the United States, and I feel like they didn't capture
really
it very well. This one, they go to the United States, where they go to New York, they go to the South, like Louisiana, and I feel like as Americans, they probably jumped on this a little bit more, maybe.
But no, I liked it with the feel of like New Orleans. Like they start the movie with like the parade in the mornings, and it's like, bro, like you can literally hire a parade for anything. And so, like, this was supposed to be, like, a hired parade for a funeral. Yeah. And so you're like, okay, cool.
I think that's just how they... I don't know this for a fact, but I think that's just how they celebrate funerals, because it's supposed to be a celebration, not a, like, sad thing.
And so... But it's just, like, seeing the parade on the streets, like, seeing, like, that old architecture like that of New Orleans, it's just... It was just, to me, beautiful. Yeah. And so... And I love, like, the New York look and New York feel of, like, old New York like that. And it was just, like... really awesome, really top notch,
grungy,
and
grungy is what I meant to say, not cringy.
But I do like as well that just like in like Dolomite style films and stuff like that, they did the whole like every time like, well, man, get him out here, kill him, and like they wait because they want you to walk a little bit before like they get to you and stuff. Like that's always like a little trope in like the movies of like those style of movies. It's like, come on, and like flicking the gun, like go. And then like then you'll walk and then bam, stuff like that. So I was like, I'm glad that like they stuck to that little bit of like technique with it. And I was like, ooh, okay, yeah. And then I like the way that what was the country they made up?
San Monique.
San Monique. Like I like the way they made it look with like the heroin fields. Yeah. Which we just kept making Far Cry jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
So
it super Far Cry vibes on this one. And like they hide it by making it look like wheat fields.
Yeah, just making the joke of when he knocks the guy off with the parasail. I was like, bro, that's like an achievement. Like, what are you doing?
No, like, I was just like, super ready for some Far Cry 3 shit.
But yeah, like everything about the movie, especially like I like the whole beat for beat of like he doesn't want to sell heroin.
Yeah, he just wants to flood the market.
Yeah, he wants to flood the market. That way everybody then has to come to him.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I got you now.
Yep.
And because then once everybody knows about his stuff, knows everything, like he didn't have a secret like I'm gonna destroy the world. He wasn't. It wasn't like the Spectre thing of like you said, like lasers and satellites. It was. You know what, man? We're just trying to get this heroin onto the streets, so everyone's addicted to the heroin, and then everybody needs heroin,
which is, I think, scarier.
Yeah.
Than just world domination.
Well, and because it's real.
Yeah, because
like
it's
there's
very
people
real.
out there that do that shit. That are just like, oh, you know how we get people to like our product? Put it on the road real quick, see what happens. Then people are gonna come to you because you gave it to them last time.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that like it was like, to me, more realistic than I'm gonna blow up like 8 buildings with a laser on top of a satellite. It's like, all right, dope. That's a cool spy movie plot. But this one was just like, no, like the CIA and MI6 were like, we need to stop this dude.
Yeah.
And we need to stop this dude now, or shit's gonna get bad. And it's like him and Felix the whole time. And I always like it when Felix is in the movies. Like, and so like just him and Felix the whole movie, like teaming up, trying to do stuff.
The guy who plays Felix in this movie, keep him in your head because he might show up in another movie at some point.
Ooh, but not as Felix, I'm guessing.
No, it's Felix.
Oh, as Felix? Okay, cool. Hell yeah.
He just will show up at some point, and I'll point it out to you.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. So I can dig that. But yeah, just there's not a lot of input from like M in this movie or nothing. Like
no, he's just like, go figure this out. We'll see you later.
Yeah, and then I do like that you
this
get
is the first. This is the second time you've seen Bond's apartment.
Yes.
So, and you won't see it again until like years later, like a Daniel Craig movie.
Damn, really?
Yeah. So, like you saw it in, I think it was From Russia. No, Dr. No.
Okay.
Yeah, when she's like in his apartment.
Yeah, and then there's the whole part of like the beginning, like them in his apartment and everything, and
trying to keep the French
like, the French spy seems to have gone missing. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that? And he was like, that I do not. And then she's just like in the bedroom, and then she leaves and realized that like, oh shit, I gotta hide. And so she like gets into the closet, and I was like, as a spy, I'm 100% sure you could have found somewhere better to hide than the coat closet. In the first
I just love
room.
that scene because like Moneypenny sees her and she's just like, I'm gonna help my boy out.
Yeah, because Moneypenny's a real bro.
Yeah, no, yeah,
like 100%. James Bond's #1 secret holder. So you know how it is.
Yeah.
And then M, I think M is like, I'm not sure if it's just the guy that's playing M is getting tired of playing M or what, but it's just like, it seems like he just doesn't give a shit anymore. It's just like, what are you doing?
They almost replaced him because he was sick.
Okay, that would make some sense
during
then.
the filming of this.
Okay, that would make sense then.
So this movie also has the, at the time, was the largest boat sequence, and it won a Guinness World Record for the longest boat chase.
Man, what?
Do you not remember the entire boat chase scene that had the Sheriff Pepper?
Oh,
Buford Pepper?
shit! Sergeant Buford Pepper, the Los Angeles Sheriff Department. You know how he is.
Not
there,
Los
man.
Angeles, but Louisiana.
Louisiana Sheriff Department, man.
Yep.
Oh my god, that whole scene was fucking magical.
Yeah, no, it's
now
great.
That like I guess I just
Billy
didn't
Bob.
think about it.
Billy Bob's
Billy Bob got the fastest boat in the South, man. He gonna get you, and we gonna get him. That's my brother. We gonna get him, and we gonna take it.
Billy Bob gets hit in the head.
Yeah, gets hit in the head by one dude, out cold.
Yep.
So we don't really see a lot of Billy Bob,
yep.
but you want the widest, most accurate Southern sheriff character in a movie. It is Sheriff Buford.
Yeah.
I
think it's like,
I forgot his name now.
Hold on.
I just said it too.
I got it. Hold on.
Oh, bro, we gotta get this name because this was like
it's just Sheriff Buford Pepper.
Yeah, Sheriff Buford Pepper, and holy shit, because like for those of you that don't know, we live in the South, and so I have had many a run-in, not with a lot of police officers this way, but a lot of people that are like, man, I got the fastest boat in the land, man. You know how it is. You know how it goes, and it's just like that's just the South.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time because like I had someone that they were just like, oh, that person's just from here or from here. I'm like, no, that could be true. Like they could be just super Creole and talk like that, and that is very true. But it's like, man, I know people. If you grow up in the South and you grow up here, like grow up deep South, like it doesn't matter what race you are sometimes. by the time you're 15, 16, there's a chance, man, you're gonna talk like this at one point, and you're not even gonna notice it.
Yeah,
and it is scary sometimes.
It's very scary
because
like I said, I had a phone call one day at work, and I didn't know what the guy said. I asked him 3 times to repeat it. I don't know what he said.
When I worked in
Still
the
to
bar
this day.
industry, it was 100%. There were people that would come up from like vacation, and they'd be here for like fishing tournaments or something, and they're just like, "Yeah, man, let me get a shot of whiskey out there, man." And it's just like, "What did you? A shot of what? A shot of whiskey we come right there, man."
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're saying. And he would point back.
It's just
that right there,
Boomhauer
and it's
from,
like, "Oh, a shot of whiskey."
Yeah.
I got you.
It's just Boomhauer from King of the Hill.
Yes, no, it's
Just
exactly
like,
Boomhauer. And
yeah.
but yeah, it's like, dude, Sheriff Pepper
So-
was just hilarious to me.
I'm gonna do a slight spoiler.
Okay.
You're gonna see more of Sergeant Pepper or Sheriff Pepper.
Yes. I hope he gets advanced to the CIA. Sweet Jesus Christ, I hope he's fucking Felix's partner. Next time Bond sees him, he's just like, "Well, what up there, man, Englishman? What you doing right here? I see you. I remember you from the South right there, man." And be like,
Yeah.
and then Bond just be like, "Not this guy.
Yep.
What the fuck?" Like, that would be
You're
great.
not far off.
Oh my God, that makes me so
gonna be
happy.
great. But so we missed this last week.
But that whole scene was great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that whole sequence is fantastic.
Oh yeah, we didn't do a booty count last week because we were just so pissed off of how bad Diamonds Are Forever.
There was only one.
Yeah,
and
it was one for Diamonds Are Forever. But this time
This time he's got 3.
got that 3 count.
Yep. He's got just
Girl
blanked.
from the beginning.
Yeah, girl from the beginning.
The spy from France.
Yep.
He
saw
got the
Rosie,
CIA agent.
Rosie Carver. She's right there.
Boom. Yes.
And then
And
Solitaire. Yep.
But
Which Rosie's
Was-
a first because it's the first like time that Bond has gotten with a person of color.
yes, yes, it is.
Little
But here's my
progression.
thing. What happened to Rosie?
She gets killed.
Okay, I didn't remember.
Yeah, she gets shot with a. It's like a scarecrow that has like a gun in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just remember her being there, and it was like her first mission, and Felix is like, "Hey, you're helping my friend. Don't let him do all this shit because he's like he'll try to sleep with you and all this stuff." And then of course she ends up sleeping with him. But it's like all this stuff. Like she's scared of everything. Like the whole thing. They tried to kill Bond with a snake at one point, and Bond legit just like it doesn't care. He's like taking a bath, shaving, everything, and he looks in the mirror and he's like, "Oh." There's a snake
There's a
right
snake.
there, and then just burns it alive.
Yeah.
And he's like, no fear.
Yeah.
And then she walks in, supposed to be this hard new CIA agent, and walks in. It's like, there's a fucking snake in there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, like they
which I feel completely because if I would have walked into my bathroom and saw a snake, I'd
I'd
be like,
freak out, yeah.
Dude, I opened my front door one day when I'm like, it was like I left. Well, I think it was I was like 19. I moved out and I moved back in with my parents when I was like 20, 21, and I was there for maybe 2 or 3 days, and I had been so used to living on like the opposite side of town where there's not a lot of forestry anymore. And so like moving back over there, I opened my front door one morning and it was just like, and I was like, nope. And I just fucking like shut the door and like I just looked at everyone because my dad was about to like roll out in his wheelchair to go outside, and I was like, dude, there's a snake. And he goes, cool, I'll run over it. And I was
Fair
like,
enough.
wait, what? And so like he did that because he like my dad, just for backstory for the story, my dad's legs don't work, so if he gets bit, he's just gonna go, cool, I'll just call the hospital real fast. Like
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been able to feel it. And so he was just like trying to roll over this snake, and then as he saw it, one of our like outside cats went, what is that? Is that a snake trying to kill dad? Not now, it's not. And like fucking bolted, and you just watch my dad like roll back into the house, and this cat just like tackle it into the wall and just like crack. And I was like, dope. That's how I feel about snakes. I let a cat do it because I was too afraid to fucking kill it because I was like, oh fuck no. So I get you, Rosie. I understand. Sorry about that little story, but
That's
I understand
good.
Rosie's
Yeah.
I understand her scaredness.
Okay.
But I'm just saying she's supposed to be a CIA agent. If I was a CIA agent, I would
Well,
have been like,
they're
fuck,
also
there's a snake in
using a
here, we
bunch
gotta
of
kill
like
it.
voodoo stuff to like
Yeah.
scare, but Bond doesn't understand that,
Yeah, and
so it doesn't really work for him.
because isn't like Rosie's character from the South?
Yeah, like
And she got
she knows
promoted
about
to-
that stuff.
Yeah, and so she was just like, oh no, and
Yeah.
Bond's just like,
'Cause,
it's a fucking snake.
she's like an agent on that island.
Yeah,
So
and Bond was just like straight up like, I do not care. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill everything.
Yeah.
Like all the bad omens and all that stuff that people would see from voodoo. Bond was just like, It's a fucking card.
Yeah, and be like, this hat looks like a small man got into a fight with a chicken.
Also,
like,
when
what?
she pulls the card, when Bond's like, "So Solitaire, what's my future?" before he leaves to quote unquote get killed, and she puts boom, and it's like lovers, and he goes, looks like the fool and the fortune are the lovers, and like walks out, and then the next time he sees her, he makes her pull a card from his deck of tarot cards, and she pulls the lover's card again to make her be like, oh no, it's true. And then, of course, once you see Bond, like, put his arms around her and everything, then he drops the cards, and it's all lover cards.
It's all
and it's
stacked.
like, James Bond, you son of a bitch.
Yep. But the fortune was true because he stacked the cards. So, in a way, they were always supposed to be there. Yeah.
That's true.
How are you ranking these?
So,
I think we should rank these.
I put this one under Dr. No for me, which means Thunderball is still my favorite. And then, what was my next one after that?
You Only Live Twice.
Yeah, You Only Live Twice. Then Dr. No. Now this one. And then Goldfinger, On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
From Russia with Love. And then Diamonds.
Yeah. Yeah, From Russia with Love was my worst, and now I don't think I'll ever see a movie worse than Diamonds Are Forever. I'm pretty sure I have. I just won't see a James Bond movie that bad again.
Yeah.
And
then,
but this one was good,
yeah.
and this one rides that line of like I kind of want to throw Dr. No above You Only Live Twice, and this one still below Dr. No, but put You Only Live Twice in fourth place. But I'm still thinking on that because I really did like You Only Live Twice.
I got you.
Just because, once again, I also grew up with, like I said, karate movies and Asian movies and stuff. So it's both of these movies, both of those hold like a very special place for me.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah.
For mine didn't change a whole lot. I just put Live and Let Die at the third spot. So Majesty's Secret Service is still number 1. From Russia with Love is 2. This is the third one, and then so on and so forth. Yeah. But if you're wanting some karate, the next movie has some karate.
Oh, dude, my body's ready, dude. Like I said, man, you keep feeding me like old school, like that childhood nostalgia for me. Then Bond's just gonna be great. Like,
Now the next few movies, they just kind of focus on certain genres and just roll with it.
I'm fine with that. Like that is perfect. Like there are certain movies that do that, and I'm
Also,
just like, why? But like stuff like this, I'm like, it works.
Yeah.
Like if you were to be like, this entire movie is like a sci-fi film, I would just be like, cool, sci-fi Bond, like whatever. Which I know that's coming with Moonraker, and
so the first
God only knows
3
if I'm ready.
Roger Moore movies are probably my favorite of his like tenure. So it's this one, Man with the Golden Gun, Spy Who Loved Me. Those are my 3 top.
Yeah, because Man with the Golden Gun is next, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
Man with the Golden Gun.
Which, fun fact, I didn't know that the Golden Gun was a lighter until the other day. So.
Oh yeah, because you watched that behind the scenes thing. But yeah, that is next week.
Yes. Also,
get ready.
I also do want to point out the ending scene of this movie, though, as well, like the ending fight when because he was trying to cut Bond and just be, and I was just like,
he does.
Bro, that's not how you're gonna.
Should probably
that's
talk about
not how you cut a man to kill him. If you want to kill him, like, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm not trying to kill you, Mr. Bond." And I was like, "Well, fuck, he answered my question. There we go." Because he wants the sharks to kill him. Yeah. And then my favorite thing is, I don't believe the sharks kill anybody in that scene.
No,
because he puts what's his name in. No, he puts the one dude in the seal trap.
Yeah.
And then he blows up.
Yeah.
What's his?
He has an explosive
Kananga.
personality.
Like he literally just like they have that little shotgun thing that it expands everything that it touches, and he just
it's like a
up.
Compressed air pellet.
Which no blood.
No, it's
cuts
true.
Bond, and every time he's cutting Bond, you can see the blood coming down and everything like that, and you're like, okay, no blood on the explosion. They were like,
that's probably a little too graphic.
This might go a hard R. Like we don't need that. But yeah, I was just like, we're back with the fucking sharks. Like, how many times has Bond escaped sharks now? Like,
quite a few.
Jesus.
Quite a few.
And so, it was dope. Like I said, everything about this movie was, to me, fantastic. Like, the setting, the Bond girls this time around, like, which we didn't see a lot of the first one, but with Rosie and Solitaire, they were both, like, solid Bond girls of, like, what they did, how they handled themselves. The voodoo stuff and, like, just Kananga himself not really wanting to take over the world, really just wanting to rule the drug market. Like, I was like, this seems more real. And, like, I know they added the supernatural elements with, like, the voodoo and everything, like the voodoo ritual scenes where they're in the graveyard and they're killing people. and it's like yeah, this is dope, but like, and like I guess like you could say supernatural. Like I don't want to say voodoo doesn't exist because then that might come back to haunt me sometime in the future. So we're just not gonna say that. So, but it's just like with all that stuff, it's like it still felt real. Like you were just like, oh yeah, anybody that gets in their way, they'll kill them this way because then it makes people that are on the island believe.
I just feel like, just in general, how this movie was filmed too, it just felt better. It's like,
yeah, the no sped up scenes to make the action better. Like,
well, like
all that
even
stuff. Like,
because Diamonds didn't use that, but I feel like the editing and like the like just production wise just looks better in this movie than it did in Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
I feel like in Diamonds Are Forever, it's like I feel like they were like, you got 3 months, go.
Yeah.
Like they were like, shit. And this one, they were like, man, take your time. You got 2 years before we need this movie in theaters. And it was like,
and
okay.
One last thing with Roger Moore's Bond, they tried to make him distinctly different from Sean Connery.
Oh yeah, with like the cigars and whiskey.
Yeah, this
is my Bond.
He doesn't.
Right here,
he doesn't drink vodka martinis. He drinks like whiskeys and like bourbon. He doesn't smoke cigars. He smokes.
No, he doesn't smoke cigarettes. He smokes cigars.
Yeah, he smokes cigars.
Which
and he wears a fucking turtleneck, which is dope.
Yeah. The only problem I have with this movie, and I pointed it out while we were watching it, is that he's still smoking the cigar while parasailing. Yeah. And I was like, I'm 100% sure that cigar would have went out. Like, badass, man. Almost positive.
You can't stop being a badass.
And then another thing about this movie too is how in the first time you see Bond go into one of the like chain places that the gang owns, like, of course he sits down in the booth and he was like, well, yes, I would like to, and it turns and he's just like in their lair and he's like, shit. And so the next time they go to one, he was like, can I offer y'all a wall seat right here? And he was like, no. And Felix was like, what's wrong with the wall? The wall's fine. He goes, let's just say sometimes the walls turn when I think about it. And so they go to the stage, and then when Felix gets up, the stage like lowers so Bond can go. Yeah. And it was one of those moments of like, you gotta know in his head, he was like, we should have took the fucking wall seat. Like, damn it. But I just thought it was hilarious that like Felix is like, why can't we sit on the wall? And then like it still backfired on him. And then Felix being like, where's my friend? And the guy being like, hold on, we'll talk to you. Mr. Bond had to go do this.
No, well, like, what? He's like, your buddy is a real piece of shit. Yeah, basically what was gonna happen.
And it's just like, oh my gosh. And it's great because I just watched Motherless Brooklyn, and like a lot of the scenes take place in a bar just like that. And that's how a lot of the things work to like other people. It's just like, well, why is he being thrown outside? Because he's a real piece of shit. It's just like, okay, hell yeah. Like keeping it alive. Yeah. So like I said, I love this movie. If you haven't watched it, you absolutely should. Or if you haven't watched it in years, you absolutely should again, because I thought this was great.
If you want to watch with us, right now on Vudu, they're just free to watch. You have to watch them with ads, but you can just watch them.
You can watch them every week and then tune in and see what we how we feel about this.
Yeah.
So yeah. So on that note, Richard, where can they find us?
Oh, they can find us on Facebook.com/packofgeeks.
Boom. That's the best one right there.
We post stuff there, you know.
We try to post everything there as much as we can. I know sometimes we're really bad at keeping up with stuff, and so it's really bad, but we're all getting better at it. So
you can also find us on Twitter.com/packofgeeks.
Yep.
We post a lot more on there, honestly.
Normally, yeah.
Twitter's where we're usually at now. You can also find us YouTube. Just search Pack of Geeks. That's where most of our content is.
True.
Right now, it's mainly these. We're working on some other stuff.
Yeah. So we all four of us that are still here together, actually working on a dope little video all together right now. So that's really awesome. Hopefully it'll be out. We're hoping 2 weeks should be good to go then, and we hope you enjoyed that video. Also, if you want to just see some more stuff, me and this guy are also with the YouTube crew called the Scoot Gang, and you can go check out now Richard is on the Scootcast.
Scootcast
For the very
episode
first
number
episode.
1.
And then, of course, none of us are in the first episode of it, but the first episode of Internet Shit is up on that site as well.
I'll link those down in the description.
Yes. There. And also, you know what else you should watch? And we're going to link it into the description. We do gameplay videos. We know we've been slacking on it a little bit, but that's because we're working on a new approach to it, and we want everyone to enjoy it. So we're going to link one or two of our favorite videos right down here just to let you have a feel of what we started this channel for. And we'll get back to it eventually. We're a lot of cool stuff coming on this channel, like very soon and within the coming months. The new year is going to look really nice for us.
Yeah.
And we're just rolling with it for now with James Bond and some other videos. Also, State of Play is coming up
soon.
It was, if you're watching this episode right now, State of Play was yesterday.
Yeah.
Which means today as well. Probably a State of Play episode up.
Yeah.
So, you know what you can do, because it's Wednesday. State of Play was yesterday. You can now watch this video, and if you're like, I do like State of Play, then go ahead, because it's up as well right now. So, you can go check that out, and let us know what your thoughts on State of Play were. Let us know what you thought about this movie, because I fucking loved it, and I just want to know what you think about it. So, until next time. This is the #1 James Bond podcast on the internet. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Because I'll still say that we're #1 even if they try to argue it, so it doesn't matter.
Sure.
So until next time, internet, we love you.